Kelly to the rescue. Matt has gotten stuck with a dirt pan in the tractor, so now I have to go get the other tractor that is hooked up to the do-all, take the do-all off, park it, and then go get the log chain, and then go pull him out.
It's the local Autobahn here this morning. They come through this S-curve about 60, 65 miles an hour. Well, we are back out again today. We got the hooded sprayer unhooked last night. Zach still got a couple tons of DAP to spread on one last farm and he'll be done. Our first goal today is to get hooked up to the dirt pan. We've got some dirt to move, got some washes to fill, got some pipe to install, all before we can get hooked up to the planter and go plant some corn. So looks like we got about a day and a half before the rain gets here. There's no way we're gonna get it all done in a day and a half, but if we can at least get the corn ground done, it means we can get started planting corn and we can save the cotton ground for after we get done planting corn anyway. So, but before we can hook up to the dirt pan, we got to put the clevis hitch on our toolbar there to be able to hook up to it. Daylight's burning. Let's get started. Well, we got the hitch installed. We got Zach squared away for the day. He's just let go and spread fertilizer, so now we're gonna head up the road to one of my landlord's barns where we got the dirt pan stored. Hook up to it, bring it back to the shop, check all the air pressure in the tires and grease it, and we'll be heading to the field ourselves. It is so much nicer going down the road, this tractor, without that hooded sprayer attached. All right, we just got here, the dirt pan hidden away over here in the shed. I don't know if you can see it, but this is one of the farm I did my strips on. Probably being not too far away from 2 weeks ago. You can see that the strips are already dying out there, but the cover crop in the middle is still continuing to grow. Looking really good. Just a hair too short. Perfect. Maybe it would have been a smart idea to take this quick hitch off before I hooked to the dirt pan. Make things a little easier. And I got a trucker right behind me. I'm gonna pull over and let him pass just so y'all can see his trailer. Y'all let me know if it's safe or not. Look at this. All right, here he comes, here he comes. Old scrap hauler. Sideboard's bowing out, about to collapse. That looks a lot better than the trailer he was hauling yesterday. Yesterday, the frame on it looked like a U because the middle of it was sagging so bad. Literally the middle of the truck was 3 feet lower to the ground than what each end was. That's how bad the frame was warped on it. Well, that's just great. That's the tire that was a little bit low there. Yep, that's where the smoke was coming from. All right, we got it jacked up. It was all my little floor jack wanted. We kind of got it centered there. Now let's see if we can get it seated back on the bead or not. Really doubt this is gonna work. Oh shoot. Yeah, that for sure is not gonna work. That ain't gonna fit on there. That's got a rigid valve stem. All right, we ain't got time to mess with this. So we're just gonna go ahead and start off with the big gun. Because our fixed one won't fit on here, we're going to use this rubber neck, but I don't have anybody here to pull the trigger. Hopefully I'll be able to seat the bead and then grab that thing, start inflating it quick enough before it loses the seat. Here it goes. Maybe I did it this time. I'm gonna let it jack down a little bit, put a little pressure on that tire. Hopefully that will help the bead seat a little bit. There we go. Just that time. All right, fired up. Everything is greased. Let's give this thing a go. See what we can get torn up today. All right, the first order of business is going to be to, so there's a field entrance right there. As you can see, it's pretty narrow. It's got a 20-foot culvert in there. We're going to put another 20-foot culvert right beside it to have us a 40-foot entrance. We're going to take some dirt off this hill over here that we don't put any crop on, and that's what we're going to haul over there to where we're putting the culvert in. This dirt pan we got behind us, I think is classified as a 14-yard pan. The dirt pan is it's too big for the tractors that we got. I mean, we got enough horsepower to pull it, but the tractor's not big enough and heavy enough to get the traction to fill this thing all the way full. Best we can do is fill it about 2/3 of the way full. The biggest problem is that this dirt pan has got a front dolly instead of to support the weight, instead of having you know, a rigid tongue that hooks onto the drawbar that puts a lot of the weight of the dirt pan, especially when it's pulling, puts it on the rear tires. So we just really don't have the weight to pull this thing really really efficiently, but we managed to get by with it. It's definitely a lot bigger improvement than what we had. We did have like a small 4-yard dirt pan that we pull around with a loader tractor, but man, it took forever to get any amount of dirt hauled with it. So this one does all right. This problem right here is the kind of stuff we're going around and fixing. You can tell we're on the top of a terrace that wraps all the way around, and What terraces do is catch water draining off the hillside and slow it down and reroute it to the edge of the field in proper drainage, just to keep washes and stuff from happening in the field. And this terrace was in good shape last year. What caused this right here is not water washing over the edge from the terrace filling in, but this was caused by an armadillo. And what armadillos do is they like to bore burrows down into the ground. Well, one of them decided to go down right here at the bottom of the terrace and go back that way. And then what happens whenever it rains, the water, instead of flowing along through the terrace, the water goes down in the hole. And then eventually it comes out the other side, and then what's above the top will just collapse, and water keeps on rushing in, and it forms this big gully right here. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. This is an old armadillo hole that apparently was formed after this big gully happened. And see, they just burrow right into the side, and water goes down in there. And of course, it'll eat away at the terrace right there. Used to, we didn't have any problems with armadillos. It's something that's just really popped up in the last 10 years or so, but I mean, we got armadillo holes all over our fields, and because we're no-till, there's really no way to smooth them out. So it's definitely one of the problems that we've got that we haven't quite figured out exactly how to solve. Normally, they're not that big of a problem. It just kind of creates a rough field if you happen to hit one of those holes with the tire of the tractor, a sprayer, or whatever. But when you build them into the side of the terraces, like I've seen happen from time to time, then we got a pretty big problem. So, any solutions on how to eradicate armadillos? I'm yours. Hey, 30 minutes later, it's back good as new. Hopefully the armadillos have moved on and built their nest elsewhere. Just in case you haven't picked up on it, I'm not a big fan of armadillos. I wish they'd go back to Texas where they come from. That's where they belong. Also, my window tint guy called me about an hour ago and said he is on his way out to tint the windows on the sprayer. So get another one of those projects that I've been wanting to get done, going to finally get it taken care of. Especially with the hotter weather coming on the way, that window tint will really help the AC in the sprayer with the greases it's got there in the cab. I hadn't checked the weather forecast yet, but one of my buddies called me and says tomorrow's not looking as bad as what they were initially predicting. I'm sure we'll probably still get some rain out of it, but hopefully we won't get very much rain, because this dirt's moving real well right now, and last thing we want to do is for it to get muddy again. And you know, you just can't do good dirt work in the mud. But hopefully the rain will hold off long enough tomorrow that we can at least get our corn ground done. That's the primary goal right now, just to get the corn ground done. So we're probably gonna run on along till about dark tonight. Of course, we can't do any good getting this dirt moved and fields leveled off with the dark. You just can't see. So we're gonna be hard after about another 2 hours. We're back at it again this morning. Got another beautiful day. It feels like spring has actually arrived. We had temperatures of about 80 degrees yesterday. Supposed to have them up around between 80 and 85 today before the storms move in. But luckily the weather forecaster has pushed the storms back till later on this evening. So hey, look, we'll get a full day in, which we desperately need. I didn't record a closing to yesterday. I think yesterday I left y'all with a couple hours left in the day. Well, shortly after that, got a phone call from Kelly that Carter had an accident on his dirt bike. I still don't really understand how it happened, but apparently he was being a little careless there around the shop, riding too fast, and anyway, he lost control of his bike, rode into the shop, and ran into my bolt bin and completely demolished it. Fortunately, Carter's okay. He's beat and banged up pretty bad. potentially got a broken ankle right below the growth plate. We won't know more until we can get in to see the orthopedic doctor, and can't do that until the swelling goes down. That'll happen in a couple days. But he's definitely got a crack in the bone down there, so he's in a soft boot and crutches. But I mean, you think about it, all those bolts and the bend and everything that we got weighs a whole lot, and it could have been a lot worse. Luckily, he was wearing all of his protective gear, chest protector, helmet, and gloves, and if he hadn't been wearing that, it definitely could have been a lot worse. Anyway, I was, cause she had to get him to the doctor, and Zach had already gone home for the day. I was stuck out in the field till about 9 o'clock last night till they could get out of the doctor. But thank goodness he's okay. The bend can be fixed or replaced, and his bike can be fixed. We just thank the good Lord that it's not any worse than what it was. But I will say, he's gonna have several fun afternoons sitting on our little roll around stool, sorting through all those bolts and nuts that spilled out and getting them organized again. He's gonna love that. I hadn't talked to Zach this morning. He's supposed to leave out Trenton around 7 o'clock, start hauling chicken litter. I hope he doesn't enjoy that job enough that he quits his regular day job. I'd hate to lose him to a chicken litter hauling crew, but I'm sure he'll enjoy the chance to drive somebody else's truck, even if it's only for a day. Kind of wish I didn't have this dirt work to do. I wouldn't mind going working for somebody else for a day, not having to make any decisions and just following orders, and if any problems prop up, let somebody else deal with them. Kind of wish I had that job today. Oh, I tell you something today, man, my neck is sore from spending all day turning around looking at this. My body's not used to it, and my neck is paying the price. Hopefully it'll get limbered up here in a little while. But after doing this for another whole day, I can tell you tomorrow is definitely not going to be fun. I know we're definitely most likely going to get some rain some point today. I sure hope it's not that much, and I hope this dirt work holds up. I'd hate to spend all this time doing it just to get a real heavy downpour and a flood of rain and all that water undo all this work I've done. And that's always a risky run whenever you're trying to fix terraces and stuff, getting a downpour on that loose dirt. Even though we tried to pack it in, the dirt's still loose and doesn't have any kind of cover on it whatsoever, and you're running the risk of some serious erosion and messing up all the work you done. But hopefully that won't be the case. These cover crops really have come along this last week a good bit. If you look closely, you can see my burn down strips that I sprayed starting to yellow up some and not quite as tall. They're taking a lot of carbon out of the atmosphere, putting out a lot of nice clean air for all of y'all, and putting that carbon back into the soil where it can really be used to boost our crops and rebuild the soil.
Hello.
I'm stuck. I need you to bring tractor over here.
What tractor?
The big one.
That's probably got something attached to it.
Yeah, but the loader tractor's not gonna pull it out.
Yeah, so it's gonna take me a minute because I'm gonna have to unhook everything. And I just got back here, so let me go check on Carter really quick, and then I'll go down and get it.
I'm over here on Clinton.
Okay.
Kelly to the rescue. Matt has gotten stuck with a dirt pan in the tractor, so now I have to go get the other tractor that is hooked up to the do-all, take the do-all off, park it, and then go get the log chain and then go pull him out. This after I've already dropped him off in the service truck to the tractor and the dirt pan, and went back home and checked on Carter. Carter had a dirt bike wreck yesterday and broke his foot, and it's put up for a while. So I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off, like normal. So let's go rescue Matt. So I have to back this out, and I'm really not gonna back it in because I'm kind of in a hurry, but I have to unhook this, and probably just gonna park it over there somewhere and then move it back in later on today, but about to take the big girl and go get him. Okay, successfully unhooked, and I'm about to go get the log chain and go rescue Matt, and then I've got to hurry up, get back here because Carter is going to the orthopedic doctor at 1 o'clock. So this is my life, constantly running around.
The joys of farming. Tell you what, this dirt pan, it's like a big anchor. We had a place in this waterway that is pretty deep hole filled with water, trying to fill it in, and she just bottomed out. So now we get to wait on Kelly to bring the tractor and chain over here to pull me out because it ain't moving otherwise.
All right, so he told me where he was, and I'm thinking, I know exactly where he got stuck because this is what I planted last year, and there were so many like washouts and huge little gullies in the middle of the field, and I guarantee you he got stuck where I told him, please, for the love of God, fix this. Zach thinks he got stuck on the corner where he almost got stuck yesterday, but I have a feeling he's stuck where I told him it's really bad. Well, let's see. Is he? He is! Ah, I knew it. That thing is so I knew it. I win. Yeah, it's pretty bad right there. I swear I thought I was gonna break the new planter last year. Oh, he's standing out waiting on me. That's so cute. Greg's Towing Company. My going rate is $57.50 per hour.
Well, the cavalry's finally arrived. Let's get this thing out of the mud and back to work. Ease me forward. All right, go on ahead. Hey, come on. Pull, baby, pull.
That'd be $57.50, Matt. Gotta love it. Kelly to the rescue. Let's hope he doesn't get stuck between 12:30 and 2 o'clock because I won't be around to save him. I love it. There have been times where I've gone back to the shop and he's like, hey, come back out here. So let's hope not again. But that washout's pretty bad, so let's hope it stays. Okay, so she's back, and I'm gonna keep her here with the chain on the back just in case Matt gets stuck again. And now I'm gonna go check on the kid, make sure he's good to go, because we have to leave in about 2 hours to take him to go get his ankle looked at to see how broke it really is. And then after that, come back home, and I don't know. This is my life. I literally run around like a chicken with its head cut off. Armin! I'm about to go to the house and go check on Carter, get a few more things done, make Matt a lunch, attempt to try and eat myself. When it's just me, Matt, and Zach on the farm, and we have a kid who's sick or a kid who's hurt, we kind of have to decide who has to stay home and who has to go to work. And majority of the time it's me. Some of the time it is Matt. It just depends on the season. But we make it work because we've had to. Now my parents moving here, it's been a lot easier because Mom has helped out a whole lot, and so has Dad. But for 15 years, it's kind of just been us with 3 kids, and especially one that's hurt and can't get around and can't be mobile. It makes it more difficult. Paige had a really bad accident when she was 16, broke a leg and an ankle, and she could barely move around, and that was during planting season, but we made it work. So yeah, we just make it work. I don't know, my brain is fried, and we haven't even begun planting yet. But I did get some mulch laid down, and the house is starting to look good. So in between helping out, I'm attempting to make the house look decent since I really haven't done anything in 2 years. And I got my trusty sidekick over here. Are you good?
Well, she hadn't been around I don't know what I would have done. Probably twiddling my thumbs all day long. All right, now the question is, how do I fix this spot without getting stuck again? I don't know. Maybe just work around the edges a little bit. I don't think that looks half bad if I do say so myself, considering I was buried right out there in the middle just a little while ago. Now just hopefully we don't get a flood of rain that comes down through here and washes all that away, because we got a pretty big watershed draining through these two waterways. You know, all that up through there, all drains down to two ditches. One back there that drains down the waterway I was just working in, and then one right up here on the waterway I'm working on now. This one up here wasn't quite as bad as the one I just got done with. We're just trying to taper the sides out a little bit and flatten the bottom, you know, to make it farmable, where we don't have just a big wash going down through there. We've got a pretty good bit done on it. Now I just got a little bit of shaping up to do on the sides, and we'll be done here and heading on to the next field. Well, dumping this last load of dirt, we have all the corn ground done. It is ready to plant as soon as we get some chicken litter on it. Clouds are building up and the wind's really picked up, so we probably got some thunderstorms coming later on this afternoon, but we still got a little bit more time, so I reckon we'll go get started on some cotton ground, trying to get it in shape. Be just that much less work we got to do later on. But it's getting towards the end of the day. I know Zach's had a long day in the truck. Haven't heard from him very much, so I guess we'll check in with him and see how far they gotten on the chicken litter hauling.
Yes, sir.
Y'all done hauling for the day yet?
Yeah, we just parked the truck.
You gonna have to burn your clothes when you get home?
Actually, I can't smell anything inside the truck. Did not stink.
It's probably because you done got used to the smell.
Well, no, I mean, when the wind would blow going down the road, yeah, I'd catch a whiff, but I mean, hell, I felt nasty just driving the truck, so much out of it.
I got you. How many loads y'all get hauled?
We got four loads. We got enough for Frank Smith. We had it took us 3 hours this morning. There was 5 trucks lined up, and we have to load our own truck. So we had to sit there and wait on everybody else, and then the tarp wouldn't work on Ernie's trailer, and it took us about an hour to get it tarped.
Okay. All right.
So,
well, sounds good. Well, I'll talk to him, and we'll go from there.
okay.
All right. Bye. Well, there you have it. They got a total of 4 loads hauled today, which is probably about 120 tons of litter. That's enough for the first 80-acre farm we got a plant. All right, guys, I reckon I'm gonna go ahead and call this video. Don't know what the next video is going to bring. If it's going to be hauling litter, putting pipe in, hooking up to the planter, I don't know. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll be back again soon with the next video.